But yeah, let's take a look at some other Transformers 1 models. Strictly speaking about Transformers 1, because I do have other model kits. But let's take a look. So my feeling is this this Alita One, this is the Yolopark. The Yolopark cogless bot mode from TF1 AMK series. So they have AMK series, and then there's like AMK Pro, AMK Pro Plus or something, blah blah blah. So they have their own system. But this is the Blokees Optimus Prime Classic class. At the time they called it Classic class, I think. But they might have called it something else. I think they changed the names, the naming convention of all these guys. But let's see how this stacks up. And so this is intended to be the final form of Optimus Prime from the movie. But he is going to be noticeably smaller than this Alita One. Maybe not noticeably smaller, but out of... they're almost the same height, which is okay. However, in the show, in the movie, he should be much taller than the cogless form of Alita. If we look at this box here, it's just nerding out about Transformers and scale here. My apologies. I'm sure none of you care about this, but here, look. This is the Alita that I've made just now, and this is Optimus Prime, also cogless mode. And then in the story, when they get their cogs, they get bigger, and this is to scale to this, so they get significantly taller. And then by the end of the movie, when Optimus Prime, or rather Orion Pax, truly becomes Optimus Prime, he's like even chunkier and bigger, right, as you can see. So the Blokees model, this one here, should be this tall, relative to this Alita One, which is this one. As you can see, it doesn't match in scale, but it's just kind of interesting to note. Now, that being said, we do have some other Blokees models to compare. This is the Galaxy class. This is the Galaxy class Sentinel Prime. And once again, Sentinel Prime should be about as big as like those models that are like shown here. For the scale purpose, that he should be about this big relative to all the other ones. However, because this is a smaller line of model kits that come in blind boxes, and they're more like just, you know, they're like little action figure guys that you build. There you can see, much smaller. And then we have Bumblebee, which I got like a week ago, again from the same Galaxy class. And Bumblebee just typically is a much smaller bot. This is you would put him here. He would be right here, because this is the cogged version of Bumblebee. This is not the Yolopark model. This is Blokees, and once again, he's much smaller. And then we have Starscream, which again I got like last week, and this is like one of my favorite Blokees overall, and it's one of my favorite Blokees from the Galaxy. Is it called the Galaxy class line? Again, those are like the blind box models, and this wing piece kind of came off, which is okay. Yeah, he just looks great. He kind of has, again, these Galaxy models are like, they aren't supposed to be very big, and yet he does feel like he's got a lot of mass, because he's got very broad shoulders, big wings that kind of make him feel big and imposing too. Really nice paint application and stuff like that. And yeah, you'd probably put him somewhere here, you know, in terms of the size, right? He's like fairly close to these. because they are from the same line, or rather, the same range, I guess. Okay, we've got a train passing. Don't mind the train. But yeah, that's kind of just a quick little rundown of Blokees as they kind of... Hold on. That's just a quick little rundown of Blokees as they compare to the Yolopark models. This is my first Yolopark model, Alita One, and I think that they're pretty nice. Like they've got some really nice detail, as you can see here. Like, this is where the cog goes, and this is the cog right there. The cog is the thing that makes them transform. For people that are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, in the show, spoiler warning, in the movie, many of the main character bots don't have a cog. They can't transform. And then throughout the events of the movie, they get one. And that's why they have this gaping hole in their chest. But that's not to be confused with the spark, which they also reference in the show. The spark is closer to a soul. The all-cog. The all-cog. But yeah, so I think this model is pretty cool. The Alita from Transformers 1, Yolopark. However, for the price point, relative to like what you can find in the world of Blokees, I think like the value and the quality for Blokees is quite good, is much more favorable in my opinion. The only thing I'll say is that many of the Blokees, as you can see, have like very exaggerated proportions. Like this fist is gigantic, big chunky fist, big chunky forearms. The proportions are a little exaggerated from what you actually see in the show. This is closer to what you see in the movie. You know, the proportions and everything. But I think that what you see in the Yolopark line is much more closer to accurate proportions. But the fact that this doesn't come with a weapon, even though maybe their rationale is like they didn't really have weapons at that point in the movie, but I am interested in seeing how this looks painted, so I very well might do that, just some basic painting, and maybe a gloss coat. Although, do I want to use my precious supply of Mr. Hobby products, seeing as how we're running out of that. Anyways, pretty cool. And that is, oh, you know what? You also get a base for the Blokees. This one being like the closest in scale. You get a base, and this model does light up in the chest. It's probably hard to see, but the model does light up in the chest. Comes with alternate face parts. Anyways, that's just something to note. And that is probably going to do it for me. So thanks for watching, everyone.